Chosen one. Something massive. Just shifted. Massive shift. There are moments in life that do not simply pass. They shift everything. They realign the atmosphere, recalibrate destinies, and dismantle patterns that once held power over your path. Chosen one, this is not just another day. This is a divine turning point. The terrain beneath your feet has shifted. The wind has changed direction. And whether you can fully see it or not yet, you've already stepped into a reality that looks nothing like where you've been. What's coming now will not resemble the struggle, the delay, or the confusion. It will reflect alignment, acceleration, and power. Something massive just shifted, and your life will prove it. Before we dive into this transformational message, make sure to watch this video all the way through. The energy it carries is not just information, it's activation. If this resonates with your soul, don't leave quietly. Comment below your warmest wishes, 99, 777, and subscribe for this glory journey we're on together. This is not just a message, it's a chapter in your awakening, in your rise, and in the flow of wishes finally coming true. Welcome to the vibration of fulfillment. What has shifted is not just a mood or a mindset. It's a foundation. The things that used to block you no longer have access. The internal warfare that left you second-guessing your own worth, it just lost its grip. The patterns of sabotage that kept repeating in different people, places, and opportunities, they've now been interrupted. This is a spiritual tectonic plate movement. And you, the chosen one, are now standing on new ground that is fertile for miracles. This isn't about hope anymore. It's about awareness. You are no longer waiting for permission to be powerful. The shift has already granted you access. Now, it's about walking like someone whose chains have been broken. This is not the season to shrink. It is the season to expand. And not in a timid way, but in the kind of expansion that creates waves when you enter rooms, that inspires people when they hear your name, and that brings ease to the very spaces where you once felt pressure. The shift is not something that asks for your validation. It declares itself through the evidence of what's unfolding. Suddenly, ideas are flowing without force. Connections are appearing without chasing. Inner peace is becoming the default, not the reward. And you know what's wild? You're not even shocked. Deep down, you knew this was coming. Not because of ego, but because your soul was pre-wired to sense when alignment was near. You're not imagining it. Things feel lighter, quieter, sharper, more synchronized. People who once drained your energy are either gone or no longer relevant. Conversations are more purposeful. Solitude feels richer. You're beginning to realize that what you thought was a setback was actually a setup. That the delay was actually developing you. That every breakdown was part of the shift preparing you for this exact rise. And let's be clear, this shift is not temporary. It's foundational. This isn't a weekend high or a motivational flare-up. This is a deep structural change to how you operate, perceive, and respond to life. Your nervous system is recalibrating. Your mind is releasing toxic loops. Your spirit is choosing elevation. This is what it means when heaven aligns with earth inside of you. Even your silence has become sacred. You no longer feel the need to explain the glow. You're not defending your peace. You're not begging to be seen. You are the message. You are the shift. And those who are aligned will recognize it without words. This is the power of divine timing. When everything that once felt stuck begins to move with ease, not because you forced it, but because it's time. You'll start to notice how quickly things begin to respond to you now. Ideas will find you, instead of you chasing them. Solutions will present themselves in places where problems used to thrive. Money will flow in ways that shock your logic. People will reach out with offers, collaborations, and divine appointments that feel too aligned to be coincidence, because they're not. They're part of the shift. The people who overlooked you won't even recognize the new you, and you won't feel the need to reintroduce yourself, because the shift didn't come to validate you. It came to transform you. It came to make sure you no longer needed to be accepted in places you've outgrown. The new version of you has already transcended the timeline where that approval mattered. What's gone is gone. Let it be. What's coming is different. Receive it fully. The only thing standing between your current self and your elevated self is your ability to trust this shift, move with it, and stop questioning the divine order that's rearranging everything in your favor. You've done the inner work. You've healed what tried to destroy you. You've let go when it hurt. You stayed silent when you were misunderstood. You still showed up with grace when you had every reason to give up. And now, the universe is not only rewarding your endurance, it is rewriting your experience. This is the moment where everything clicks, not because of luck, but because alignment doesn't miss. The shift was never just about your circumstances. It was about your identity. It's about who you become when you finally realize you're no longer the version of you that tolerated less, feared the unknown, or doubted the whispers from within. You are no longer in waiting. You are in activation. The environment around you may still look familiar, but the energy it holds has been rewritten. This is the beginning of unexplainable favor, of divine reversals, of long-awaited manifestations showing up in a blink. And this time, you're ready, not desperate, not overwhelmed, not insecure, but ready. You are grounded, clear, and chosen. You're not being punished, you're being positioned. You're not behind, you're right on cue. Every no was redirection. Every ending was divine preservation. Every closed door was a sacred reroute. And now, with this shift, the door that matters is opening, and it's wide enough to carry your entire evolution through it. The universe is echoing the truth back to you in signs, numbers, timing, and peace. Pay attention. This is a spiritual realignment, not a random change of pace. It's a massive shift that reclaims your time, your gifts, and your joy. And it starts now. You're no longer walking in circles. The loop has broken. The karmic debt is cleared. The cycle that kept repeating, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, has now been rewritten. What you feel now is not just a change in perspective. It is the detachment from timelines, energies, and frequencies that no longer serve your highest expansion. And that's why it feels so different. The weight is gone because the war is over. The confusion that used to cloud your intuition, it's lifting. The people who used to mirror your unhealed wounds, they're fading away. The triggers that used to control your mood, they're losing power. Chosen one, this is evidence that the massive shift didn't just touch your surroundings. It entered your soul. It has altered the way you respond to everything. That inner shaking, that sudden need to rest, reflect, release, it wasn't random. That silence you craved was your spirit syncing with the new alignment. That discomfort you felt in places you used to feel safe, that was the shift urging you to move into higher terrain. The massive shift does not seek your approval. It demands your obedience. And those who hear it, who feel it, who yield to it, become unrecognizable to their past selves. You're not just stepping into a new season, you're stepping into a new system. The system of ease, of trust, of divine order. No more chasing what's already yours. No more battling for crumbs. No more shrinking to be digestible. The new shift is calling you to stand in your rawest truth and walk with your full stature. You are no longer invisible to heaven, and now you're becoming undeniable to the world. And while some around you may not understand it, they're not supposed to. They weren't present in the trenches. They didn't cry those tears. They didn't rebuild from those ashes. This shift didn't happen on the surface. It happened in the depths of your being, in the quiet moments when no one saw you healing, growing, surrendering, transforming. Do not rush to explain. Let your energy be the proof. Let your glow be the language. Let your boundaries be the announcement that the old version of you is no longer available. Because when something massive shifts inside a chosen one, everything attached to the old pattern is automatically released. Not in hatred, but in love. Because you no longer need to grip what grace is asking you to let go. You may feel a sense of surreal calm, like the storm passed while you were sleeping. That's real. You were protected during the shift. While others scrambled in chaos, your path was being cleared in silence. And now, as you wake up in this new vibration, everything feels unfamiliar and familiar at the same time. That's because your soul remembers this space, but your body is only just catching up. You're not late. You're arriving. You're not confused. You're being introduced to clarity on a divine level. And it's okay if others don't recognize your new frequency. The shift didn't require their approval. It required your surrender. You answered the call, even when your voice shook, even when your hands trembled, even when your heart broke open. And that obedience is the reason everything has changed. And yes, it's okay if you don't fully feel ready. The shift rarely comes when we feel fully prepared. It comes when our preparation is invisible but complete. You may not have realized how much you've grown. You may not have noticed how your capacity has expanded. But the universe has. God has. The alignment sees you. And that's why this moment was unlocked. The massive shift does not wait for the applause. It operates in sacred silence and announces itself through outcomes. You will not have to scream to be seen. What is now unfolding in your life will speak on your behalf. Elevation has a sound, and your life is beginning to echo. You are not manifesting from lack anymore. You are not building from fear anymore. You are no longer trying to fit into systems that drain you, spaces that dim you, or mindsets that restrict you. This shift has declared you free from all of that. And with this freedom comes responsibility to protect the new vibration, to guard your peace, to honor your boundaries, and to keep evolving. Because this shift is not a one-time event. It's a divine invitation into a new way of being. You are being called into a rhythm of alignment, into a flow that feels like home, into connections that are rooted in truth, into work that feels like worship, into love that honors your soul, into days that no longer feel like survival, but like sacred existence. Your dreams are no longer distant. They are being drawn to you with a force that logic cannot explain. Your faith is no longer passive. It's alive, activated, sharp, potent. The old you used to beg for signs. The new you realizes you are the sign. Your life is becoming the message. Your walk is becoming the prophecy. Your smile is becoming the evidence that the shift worked. And it did work. Oh, it worked. The moment you surrendered, something started moving in the unseen. The moment you said, "I trust," something began to accelerate. You may not have felt the earthquake, but the ground beneath your future shook with power. What once was stuck has now been unstuck. What once was locked is now wide open. The divine timeline has caught up with your vibration. From this moment on, you will notice speed. Not chaos, speed. Clarity will come faster. Answers will land smoother. Miracles will arrive back to back. Not because of effort, but because of alignment. You're not being rewarded for performing. You're receiving because you're in tune. That's what the shift produced. Harmony with divine rhythm. You'll start to feel how light your soul has become. Not because everything is perfect, but because you finally detached from what was never yours. That heartbreak, that rejection, that abandonment, they were never the final word. They were only temporary shadows in a story that was destined for glory. And now, with the shift complete, the light has returned, brighter than ever. The people meant for this new chapter will find you, not because you market yourself perfectly, but because you vibrate at their frequency. You'll attract what aligns without having to control, prove, or explain. This is the power of walking in sync with your soul's truth. And there will be moments where the old tries to whisper, where the fear tries to resurface, where the memory of who you used to be tries to guilt you back into shrinking. But remember this, the shift didn't just change your path, it changed your posture. You don't have to fight anymore, you just have to stand. Still, strong, certain, because the shift already did what it came to do. You are no longer accessible to your past. Your energy no longer supports your old story. Your thoughts have been upgraded, your intuition has sharpened, and your environment will start reflecting this inner revolution. This is what it means to arrive. This is what it means to be chosen. Not by title, but by transformation. Not by popularity, but by preparation. And now, the rest of the world will see what the divine already confirmed. You were always meant for this shift. There's a stillness you've never felt before, not the kind that suggests nothing is happening, but the kind that confirms everything is. It's the stillness that comes after the storm, the quiet that follows a spiritual earthquake. And in that stillness, you can finally hear the truth echo back to you. You've crossed over. You're no longer repeating the same patterns. Your decisions feel different now. You're not driven by urgency, fear, or survival anymore. You've entered the season where your choices are led by clarity, by trust, and by presence. That, chosen one, is what the shift activated. The power to choose from a place of inner wholeness rather than outer pressure. You're not rushing anymore. You're not hustling for crumbs or overextending yourself to prove anything. You're moving with intentionality, knowing that the divine does not operate on chaos. The people who recognize this new version of you are the ones who are meant to witness the elevation. And the ones who don't, that's their signal, not your problem. There's a magnetic force flowing through you now. It's not ego, it's not performance, it's simply alignment. People can feel it even before you speak. Rooms respond to your silence. Conversations change when you walk in. You may notice people reacting differently to you. Some drawn to you in awe, others confused by your calm. That's the shift speaking for itself. And you'll start to notice how everything has rhythm now. Your mornings feel more intentional. Your thoughts have more focus. Your relationships feel more honest. You're no longer trying to be liked. You're simply choosing to be real. And in this realness, you attract what you no longer have to chase. You've stepped into a season where effort meets grace, where productivity no longer comes from anxiety, but from alignment, where creativity flows without force, where peace isn't something you pray for, it's the environment you live in. Because once the shift happens within you, everything you build on the outside carries the same vibration. And this is just the beginning. The shift that occurred was not only personal, it was generational. It didn't just touch your life, it shook the future of your bloodline. You are the interruption to generational curses. You are the chosen one who chose differently, who healed deeply, who faced the shadow and refused to pass down pain. That alone changed everything. You'll notice it in small ways at first. The absence of guilt when you say no, the peace you feel when you're alone, the clarity that guides your conversations, the confidence that returns when no one is watching. These are all confirmations. The shift is not something you wait to see. It's something you begin to live. You are no longer a slave to your triggers. You are no longer carrying other people's emotional debts. You've unplugged from the stories that told you to shrink, hide, settle. You've rewritten the script. You've reclaimed your voice. And now, the energy around you is beginning to respond to this new script with astonishing precision. You'll begin to see delays turn into divine appointments. What once drained you will now empower you. What once confused you will now inspire you. You'll receive messages, signs, and synchronicities that make you pause and whisper, "I knew it." Not because you forced them to appear, but because the shift aligned you with their arrival. The way you pray will change. The way you rest will change. The way you show up for yourself will evolve. And with that evolution comes a new level of discernment. You no longer need to know everything. You just need to know what resonates. And in this new vibration, your body becomes your compass. If it feels forced, it's no. If it feels light, it's aligned. This new frequency is not about controlling outcomes. It's about embodying truth. And that truth will rearrange your entire life. It will remove what no longer matches your energy. It will protect you from people who only saw your value when you were struggling. It will redirect your steps toward abundance, not just in money, but in energy, in creativity, in love, and in joy. The blessings that are coming now are not meant to rescue you. They're meant to match you. They're calibrated to the new you, the version of you that's whole, centered, unshakable. This is why the shift had to happen first. You couldn't carry these next-level blessings in your old frequency. The shift ensured that what you receive now doesn't break you. It builds you. And yes, there may still be moments of doubt. That's part of the transition. But you won't stay in doubt. You won't spiral in uncertainty. You've learned how to self-correct, how to come back home to yourself, how to walk by faith even when the path looks unfamiliar. That's the strength the shift birthed in you. The ability to trust without proof. Your heart is lighter now. Your purpose is louder. Your boundaries are clearer. And your energy is sacred. You're not wasting it explaining yourself. You're not pouring it into dead-end relationships. You're not dimming it to make others comfortable. You are simply becoming, and that becoming is breathtaking. The shift did not make you perfect. It made you authentic. And in your authenticity, you've become magnetic to the things meant for you. There's no more pretending, no more surviving, no more shrinking to fit in. There's only truth, only alignment, only divine timing operating at full force. You're not on the brink of breakthrough. You are the breakthrough. And now, everything around you is catching up. The people who doubted you will look again. The doors that were once closed will open without knocking. The things you thought you missed out on, they're returning upgraded, repackaged, and refined just for you. Because now, after the shift, you are ready. Not just to receive, but to hold what's coming, to nurture it, to expand it, to multiply it. This is no longer about survival or success. This is about sustainability. The shift didn't just give you access, it gave you wisdom. You're not just receiving more, you're managing better. The spiritual maturity you've developed is now your greatest currency. You no longer need to prove your worth through performance. Your peace proves your power. Your silence proves your certainty. Your presence proves your preparation. And this is why you'll be trusted with greater influence, responsibility, and legacy. You're not rising alone. The shift is bringing your tribe. People who see you without needing you to shrink. People who speak your frequency without explanation. People who support your expansion without competing. The shift made room for them. It cleared the stage. It set the tone. It's time. You'll know this new space because it won't require struggle. It won't ask you to betray your intuition. It won't drain you to maintain it. It will feel natural, flowing, aligned. And when it comes, you won't panic. You'll smile, because your soul has been expecting this moment for a long, long time. You are now moving differently, not because someone told you to, but because your soul no longer resonates with the old rhythm. You're no longer dragging the weight of doubt, trauma, or other people's expectations. You've released the obligation to carry what never belonged to you. And in that release, you've become lighter, not just physically, but energetically. People feel it before you speak. They feel your clarity, your calm, your courage. This new vibration you're in, it's unshakable because it's not built on achievement or applause. It's built on alignment. The shift stripped away the unnecessary so that only the truth remained. And now that truth is speaking through everything you touch. Your work, your relationships, your energy, your vision. Even your silence is now prophetic. It carries presence. It speaks without needing to speak. What once triggered you now teaches you. What once drained you now empowers you. What once felt like rejection now reveals divine redirection. This is the new filter. This is the new lens. You're no longer asking, "Why did that happen to me?" You're declaring, "I know why that happened for me." You see the patterns now. You sense the guidance behind every step. The shift gave you insight that no book, no person, no podcast could have offered, because it came from within. And while some people may not understand how you got here, it doesn't matter, because you know the nights you cried and kept going. You know the days you felt invisible but still showed up. You know the battles no one clapped for, but heaven did. And now the rewards aren't just material, they're spiritual. You have peace now. You have clarity. You have the confidence to know that you can walk into any room without performing, just being. This is divine embodiment. And it didn't come through shortcuts. It came through surrender. That's why the shift feels so powerful, because it came at a cost. You had to let go of illusions. You had to lose parts of yourself you once thought were essential. You had to say goodbye to versions of you that people still wanted to hold on to. But in doing so, you made room for truth. You made room for expansion. You made room for destiny. You'll notice now that time feels different, slower, yet more potent. You're no longer rushing toward the next thing, because you are the thing. You are the answer to someone's prayer. You are the light in someone's darkness. You are the example of what happens when someone refuses to give up. And this chosen one is why you had to endure. The shift wasn't punishment, it was preparation. You are not behind. You're ahead of schedule in a divine way. The universe had to slow things down to prepare the soil. Now that the ground has shifted, the roots can go deeper. Your harvest will be massive, not just because you've worked for it, but because you became the kind of person who can hold it. You now have the spiritual muscles to carry what used to crush you. What's coming next will be bigger than you expected, but not bigger than you're capable of. This is not a time to shrink. This is a time to expand. Mentally, spiritually, relationally. New people will come into your life who reflect your next chapter. Opportunities will arise that make you question how they even found you. But that's the point. They didn't find the old you. They found the aligned you, the shifted you, the you that no longer second-guesses their greatness. Don't apologize for your expansion. Don't explain your elevation. Don't dilute your message to stay comfortable. The shift did not come to make you palatable. It came to make you powerful. It came to break you open so that your essence could flow without distortion. And now, every step you take is sacred. Every word you speak is intentional. Every move you make is a seed, and the soil is finally fertile. There will be moments when doubt tries to whisper again. Old habits will attempt to test your growth. But you're different now. The shift gave you discernment. You can feel when something is off, when something doesn't match your frequency. Trust that. Don't override your intuition to please people who aren't meant for your new reality. You're not being arrogant. You're being aware. You're not being distant. You're being discerning. You're not being cold. You're being clear. And clarity is what protects you from returning to cycles that were only meant to break you open, not to become your home. This clarity will offend people who benefited from your confusion. It will distance you from those who only felt safe when you were insecure. But let them go. The shift doesn't ask you to carry everyone. It asks you to carry yourself fully, so that those aligned with your truth can rise with you. You may feel a sense of holy solitude in this season. That's normal. When the vibration rises, the crowd thins. But don't mistake solitude for isolation. You're not alone. You're being protected. You're being held in a sacred container while the rest of your path is being prepared. Use this time to refine, to breathe, to listen. Because when the call comes, you won't have time to get ready. You'll be ready. This is the time to rest without guilt, to dream without limitation, to trust without needing constant confirmation. Because the confirmation is already here. It's in how you feel. Lighter, clearer, grounded, alive. That's not a coincidence. That's the result of the massive shift. And now that the shift is complete, your only job is to hold the frequency. Don't revert. Don't bargain with the old version of you. Don't entertain energies that drain what's sacred. Your job now is to walk as if everything you asked for is already yours. Because it is. It's just meeting you in divine time. You'll start to witness the multiplication effect. Small wins stacking into bigger breakthroughs, conversations turning into contracts, ideas turning into impact, dreams turning into daily experiences, all because you chose not to give up when it was dark, all because you trusted when it didn't make sense, all because you said yes to your own soul. This is what happens when something massive shifts. The unseen becomes seen. The impossible becomes inevitable. The future becomes now. You are no longer building from survival mode. You are building from divine stability. That's what the shift changed. You are not scrambling for provision anymore. You are moving with the calm confidence that provision is drawn to your obedience. Your energy is not scattered, it's focused. Your vision is not cloudy, it's sharp. Your purpose is no longer a question, it's an answer. And this new level of clarity, it's a result of everything that broke you open. The disappointment, the betrayal, the endings, the uncomfortable transitions. All of it cracked your shell so your spirit could rise. And now that it has, there's no going back. You can't unfeel this alignment. You can't unknow this truth. You've tasted the real now, and the counterfeit can no longer deceive you. You can feel the ease beginning to flow into areas of your life where you used to struggle. Conversations are more aligned. Opportunities feel tailor-made. You are attracting resources and people who don't just tolerate your truth, they celebrate it. That's not random, that's resonance. That's what the shift activated. The massive shift wasn't just an energetic flicker, it was a complete rewiring. Your nervous system is calmer, your reactions are wiser, your standards are higher. Not because you're trying to be better than anyone, but because you finally see yourself clearly. And when you see yourself clearly, you no longer tolerate anything that dims your inner light. You'll begin to feel that the things that used to scare you no longer have that power. The fears feel small now, not because they disappeared, but because your faith expanded. Your heart is anchored in something bigger than logic now. You don't need all the answers. You just need alignment. And now, you are aligned. The way you move through space is different. Your presence carries weight. Your words land deeper. Your silence feels intentional. You're not operating from insecurity anymore. You're operating from deep, sacred knowing. And that knowing, it's what draws miracles. It's what activates divine momentum. It's what allows you to rest without guilt and act without fear. And while others may still be trying to figure you out, you are finally figuring yourself in. You've stopped outsourcing your self-worth to the opinions of the unhealed. You no longer seek validation in noise. You seek truth in quiet. And that alone has made you more powerful than ever before. You are not triggered by what used to shake you. You are not bending in environments that used to intimidate you. You are no longer performing to be accepted. You are walking in rooms as if you belong, because now you know you do. Not from ego, but from clarity, from alignment, from truth. You are attracting things that feel peaceful because your soul has stopped confusing chaos with love. You're no longer addicted to intensity. You've chosen intimacy instead. You've chosen presence. You've chosen stability. And that decision, in itself, is revolutionary. That is the root of this massive shift. You've returned to yourself. There's no more need to explain why you've changed. Your evolution is self-evident. Those who are meant to walk with you will rise with you. The rest will exit quietly. And that's okay. The shift didn't ask you to hold on to everything. It asked you to release. Because only with empty hands could you fully receive. And now you're being filled. Slowly, powerfully, accurately, with divine strategy, with elevated connections, with wealth that doesn't just sit in your bank account, but flows through your life, in peace, creativity, and impact. You are beginning to live the kind of life that reflects your internal upgrade. The massive shift is bringing you rewards that look like rest, that feel like joy, that sound like freedom, that move like momentum. No more earning your worth. No more exhausting yourself to be seen. No more dimming your light so others don't feel small. You are standing in your fullness now, and those meant to rise will feel inspired, not intimidated. This shift gave you authority, not over people, but over yourself, over your mind, your body, your reactions, your habits, your thoughts. And because you now govern yourself, you no longer attract disorder. You magnetize alignment. You walk into rooms with clarity. You speak with conviction. You live with purpose. And the world around you begins to reflect that. And the beauty of this moment is, you're just getting started. This isn't the peak. It's the beginning. The foundation has shifted. The structure is being built. And it will rise with grace, with divine speed, with quiet confidence. Because you are not rushing anymore. You are listening, moving, aligning. And the beauty of it is, you'll no longer feel the need to broadcast everything. You'll move quietly, confidently, securely. Because when something is real, it doesn't need to be proven. It reveals itself. And this new version of you, this activated, refined, unstoppable version, will reveal itself in results. Results in peace, results in purpose, results in provision, results in prosperity. You won't need to chase it. It will flow to you. Not as a reward for struggle, but as the natural result of alignment. This is how heaven moves. Not fast, not loud, but sure. And now that you are in tune with that frequency, your life is moving the same way. The shift also gave you spiritual intelligence. Now, you can spot a distraction in seconds. You can feel when a conversation is energetically expensive. You can walk away without guilt. You can sit in solitude without fear. You can say no without over-explaining. That's the shift. You're no longer reactive. You're responsive. You're no longer codependent. You're sovereign. And sovereignty feels so good, doesn't it? To know that your worth isn't fragile, that your peace isn't situational, that your direction isn't based on what others think. You are being guided from within now, and that internal compass will not fail you, not now, not ever, because it's tuned to truth. The timing of this shift was perfect. Even the pain was precise. Even the silence was sacred. You may not have known it then, but every heartbreak, every closed door, every delay was wrapped in divine strategy. You weren't being punished. You were being repositioned, because the old life couldn't carry the new you. Now the vision will be clearer. The plans will be bolder. The actions will be cleaner. And the results, they'll be supernatural. You're not doing this alone anymore. The support is showing up. The doors are opening. The resources are flowing. The divine is moving. And all of it is in your favor. Because the shift wasn't just about what's around you. It was about what's in you. You are different now. Not louder, not busier, not heavier, but deeper. And that depth is what makes you magnetic, what makes you powerful, what makes you ready. So now, walk like the person the shift made you into. Speak like the version of you that doesn't second guess. Show up like the one who knows they were chosen not just to survive, but to lead, to inspire, to disrupt, to elevate, and most of all, to embody the light you once only prayed for. The massive shift is real. It's done. It's here. It's you. And from this point on, there's no more holding back. The world is about to see what alignment truly looks like, because you're about to show them.